I want to make it stop. I was shrieking at the Spotify ad, and I don't even know what the ad was for, but the phrase "New Year, New You" came right through my headphones, and I about lost it. Because New Year, New You, what a load of tripe. And I think it is just a tiny bit insulting. It's it isn't the new year, new you phrasing. As if the current you is so unworthy. You have to be someone entirely different to deserve the new opportunity of a fresh start. So today, just shy of a week into 2026, I want you to know that you don't need to be someone different. I want you to hear me loud and clear. You do not need to hustle for your worth as an employee, as a leader, in a relationship. You right now are worthy of joy. So let me offer you a new story, a new idea. Instead of new year, new you, I want you to think new year, new opening. I know it doesn't have the great alliteration kind of feel that I, as a writer, really like, but it's a better way to live. If you are new here, welcome to the Joyosity Podcast. I'm so glad you found your way to this corner of leadership and life where joy is not extra, it is the very center. I'm Jenn Whitmer, international speaker, leadership consultant, author of the best-selling book Joyosity, and an all around joy bringer. And if you are a regular here, I'm so glad. Welcome back. And around here, we don't settle for toxic teams and constantly overwhelmed leaders or the exhaustion of it's all too much. Every episode, I'm bringing you stories and research and tools you can use right away to create a thriving workplace, starting with yourself. And you being here, you are a part of a movement that we together can create positive culture with complex people and cultivate joy at work. So, back to this new year, new opening. You don't need to be a new you. You need an opening to a new understanding to the you that you already are. And that is the beginning of joy as a leader. Joy as a leader at work and joy in every bit of the rest of your life. And as a leader, you cannot lead anyone else until you lead yourself. You've got to lead yourself first. And I don't know about you, but I'm really hard to manage. So that is why we have to begin with you. Your client relationships will improve, your team engagement will increase, and your general well being will flourish when you begin by leading yourself. You can't lead other people places you're not willing to go. So let's begin this year with a new opening into knowing yourself as the path to cultivating joy. Self leadership starts with exploring three key areas: your personality, your narratives or mindset, and your values. I talk a lot and I write frequently on personality and stories and how they impact your leadership skills. And there are entire chapters in my book, Joyosity: How to Develop Intense Happiness in Work and in Life, even if things are what they are, around those stories. And today we're going to talk about values. We'll come back to personalities and stories, but I want to start the year by you understanding how exploring your values is not creating some feel-good words just to share on a review or in an interview. Values are the foundation that you build to engage with the world. They are key to your joy. And lest you think that values do not matter in your workplace and to your business, the business case for basing your work on values is truly undeniable. In 2023, Forbes reported that values-driven corporate cultures have a 682%, that is 628 percentage, higher revenue. Harvard Business School found that cultures that begin with values have a 756% higher net income. And just one more. The 100 best companies to work for in the US, Do Better is their name, in our annual growth rates are 5% higher on the S&P 500 and have 65% less turnover. These are all values-based companies. So when people want to dismiss time spent working on personal and professional development around values, we can remind them that investing in people returns 1.3% more ROI than training in artificial intelligence. Your new opening is profitable and powerful and practical as all hell. I have a few different exercises I use with my leadership clients and organizations in offsites and in individual transformation days and in my group coaching program. And today, we're not going to go through the full navigate process that is in the book and the playbook, but I want to give you an easy start, something that is an easy open door, kind of like those automatic sliding doors you walk up to, that is a new opening that is still effective in your life and career. And it's NDO. So the first thing we're going to do around your values is name. You have to name your values. It's not enough to just say, yes, I have values. You need to name them and narrow them down to 5. Now, some people will say, I don't need 5, and that's fine. 1 or 2 is great. But the key here is that they're not just up in your head, and there is not so many you can't explain on one hand. So you need 5 or fewer. And they are written down, and you can say that these are mine and they feel unique to you. And as you are maybe listing values, I've got a resource for you that can give you a list of 200 that you can choose from. But I want you to pay attention to your body when you're naming values. Your gut will tell you when you've landed on something that is you. And so the first step in NDO is name. You have to name and write down your values. The second step is to define. Now, I really love a good dictionary. The OED, the Oxford, is my favorite. But defining values is more than flipping through the dictionary and looking for a standard definition. Values are unique to you, and you need a definition that is unique to you. Write down a few sentences, and I mean like 3 or fewer. If you need a whole paragraph, you can narrow later, but write a few sentences about what this value means for you in your current situation. Not what it meant to you 10 years ago, but what does it look like right now? Paint the picture of this value. What does it look like? What does it feel like? The more you are incredibly clear and specific about your value, the more effective it is for you and your ability to do the next step. And the O in NDO is operate. Now, the magic is in this step. When you operate your life from your values, that is when your values change from words on a wall to the very essence of alignment and joy in the way you live every day. I work with clients, both individuals and teams, to create a blueprint and operating system based on your values. And so it needs to show up in the way that you make decisions, the way that you organize your life, the way that you choose your schedule, the way that you spend your money, the way that you talk to other people. All of those components are the way you operate based on your values. So one of my clients, we went through this whole process, and one of their values was transparency. And not long after that, they were growing rapidly and hiring fast. And they noticed in meetings there was just a different feel, not so much like a productivity slip, but a level of cautiousness in the way people were operating that was new. It was just different. So Because they valued transparency, they gathered different managers and team members to ask questions about their experience, their needs, and the struggles of the executive team and how they were operating. This level of transparency not only built trust, but it created different roles that filled the actual needs of the organization and aligned with the people that they had. Transparency for this organization was not a one-way mirror for the company. They weren't just sitting on one side and just sharing information out where people couldn't really see behind the mirror. It didn't extend to just listening. It involved action. So if you're going to actually have joy in your life, if you want to get more of that right now in this new opportunity, this new opening, you need to define your values and put them into action. So imagine for a moment you had 5 clear values. You know exactly what they are. So you have clarity in decision making. You have a framework that always is based on the way that you want to see the world and the way you want the world to see you. Imagine that feeling of alignment living in your values, of confidence, of integrity that comes from your values being more than something that sits on a wall that is a nice value statement. It's something you step by step in every day. Take a breath and ask yourself, when is the last time you actually revisited your values? I was doing this with a woman in one of my transformation days. And as she realized, this is amazing. I haven't done this in years. And so once she actually walked through the navigate process and wrote them all down with pen and paper, it shifted something for her. She started to talk differently about what was going to happen when she went home. And when you do that process, when is the last time you've actually done it? Actually written them down, pen and paper, when you actually defined them for yourself, not let somebody else say, here's what that word means, but this is what it means for me. When's the last time you did that? And if you want to start, and you want the free 99 step, which we all love, you can go to jennwhitmer.com/values-guide to get started. And I'll put that in the show notes, but it's Jenn Whitmer, Jenn with 2 N's.com/values-guide to get you started. And if you are like, I know that this is more than just a little values exercise, and you want to open yourself up for more joy and more confidence, and again, more productivity and income, you should grab the full book, Joyosity, and the Joyosity Works playbook. And you can get those at jennwhitmer.com/books. So after listening to this today, I would love to hear from you. I love hearing from listeners. So you can email me or DM me. My email is Jenn, again, with 2 N's, at jennwhitmer.com. And you can always find me on LinkedIn or Instagram at Jenn_Whitmer. And I mean, if you're new here, this always happens. And if you've been around, you kind of know what's coming. I can't just leave you a tool and an offer. I, of course, need to put my coach hat on for just a moment and remind you, new year, new you can just retire. New year, new opening, new opportunity starts with you. You don't need to become a different person to deserve joy. You are worthy of joy right now in this very moment. And to help you cultivate it, you do need to understand the you that you've got and exploring your personalities and narratives. And today, really digging into this opening of values. So you continue to grow and you can become your favorite version of yourself as you actively cultivate joy. I will put the link to that values guide in the show notes so you can get started. And I want you to stay tuned because next week we're talking about some of the stories that are blockers to joy and how to overcome them for yourself. I would be so grateful if you would share this episode with someone who needs to remember that joy is powerful. And if you would rate the show, you'll help others discover this corner of joy centered leadership isn't an extra. It's not a perk. That joy is part of the reason for your resilience.